Hello, welcome to Mag Podcast, November 30th, 2019. This week we've got an interview with Ivarsorrows cosplay, and he's talking about his cosplaying history. And then we're going to dive in with some of the news that's been happening over the last 2 weeks. So, without further ado, let's get on with this. So, we've got an absolutely stacked show this week. We are going to have an interview with Ivar Cosplay, but before we do that, we're just going to give a shout out to the lovely people over at Badfish Merch and Geek Erie. They've made some adverts for this podcast, so I'm just going to let them explain what they do.
Come check out Geek Erie podcast. While an Irish person and two English co-hosts talk about anime and the convention highlights of what's happening around us on an international basis. Sick of hearing about Gamergate? Sick about your favorite anime being called as a Nazi propaganda? Why not check out Geek Erie podcast? We have news, interviews, and convention highlights. So check us out wherever you can find a podcast, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, or Spotify.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to the people over at Badfish Merch and Geek Erie for taking time to make those advertisements things. If you guys want to support the Badfish Merch people, links are in the description as always, and if you use the code MAG1 you guys can get a 10% discount on it, which is pretty cool. So it helps them out, it helps the show out, it's a win-win for everybody. Also, they've got some nice Geek Erie shirts there as well, so it supports that show as well. Like I said, if you guys want to check out their stuff, links as always are in the description. So with that out of the way, let's get on with this interview. We have a sit-down interview. It was a Skype call with Ivarsorrows cosplay. This was recorded, I think, in probably October. So, yeah, it will be a bit of an outdated reference on some of the MCM stuff, but it's cool. But, so yeah, without further ado, let's get on with this interview. So I'm here with, if you could give a hello and explain who you are.
Oh, hello. I am Ivarsorrows. I am a cosplayer in the UK cosplay scene, as well as an actor, a model, just a general jack of all trades, bumming it around on Instagram.
Always good. Just going to start off by saying, so what made you want to start cosplay in the beginning?
Starting cosplay, I kind of got inspired by people around me. So, like, I followed the cosplay scene kind of casually for a while, probably about maybe a year, but without ever really engaging with it. I had like a couple of friends who did it. Like I have a friend who I was in a play with from America and she's called Anthea Cos, so go and give her some love. And like I was like looking at her cosplays over time thinking, wow, these are amazing. Like she does some like literally some really, really canon Lore Olympus cosplays. And I was kind of like, damn, I want a piece of that. I think that looks so much fun. And like, let's be honest, who's not wanted to at least pretend for a bit that they are a character in an anime? Like that, you'd be lying if you said you didn't.
Yeah. We've all done that, had that moment where we all thought, I could be, I don't know, Kamina from like Gurren Lagann or something like that.
Yeah. That's on my list. That is like 100% on my list.
I wanted to do that myself, but I was just looking at myself and thinking, No, try something else. I was like, okay, yeah. So I'm going to keep my eyes out. How many cosplayers have you actually done?
I think around 10. It's kind of hard to keep track from like the ones I've done at conventions and the ones I've done like in my own free time. Like I've probably only done 2 or 3 convention ones, but I've done a lot of like in my own spare time just for fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably about 10. Like probably only half of that I'd say I'm like happy with and like I wouldn't change. But then you know you cosplay to learn your craft at the beginning, certainly.
What from all the cosplays that you've done, what's been the most proud one you've been like, wow, that was so good?
Oh, no, definitely the Attack Titan that I did for London Anime Gaming Con. Like that was just mad. Mainly because it took so long. Like first time we did it.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I'll let you please carry your story on.
It's fine. It's first time we did it. It took about 5 hours because it was like a full body paint thing. So we did like because it was painting basically over like the muscle and the skin. And like the first time it took 5 hours.
Yeah.
So we basically kind of thought if we don't do this a little bit quicker, it's going to take we're going to miss the convention. So I think Saturday morning we got up, super early, got all the paint on, got it all done. Probably by about 12. So we were a little bit late, but like honestly, like it was such a good feeling because for the majority of the day we didn't move for people like wanting to take photos, which sounds a little bit like patting myself on the back, but it was a real feeling of like yes, we have achieved something here.
I was gonna say when you do something like that, I mean, it's weird because I was thinking like obviously you do like prep for it, so you make sure that it looks right. And then when you actually go to the convention, how far behind do you have to get up to go do that? Like for the actual day of the convention? Yeah,
it depends on the cosplay. Like, I think if you compare, say, that one, so Attack Titan, which was, I think we got up about 7 a.m. So in the end, it probably did take around 5 hours. Although we got 2 of them done as opposed to 1 of them done, because obviously my girlfriend was also involved in that cosplay and she did the Annie Leonhardt female Titan as well, which was amazing. But like if you compare that with something like I did Garu from season 2 of One Punch Man, that actually didn't take a great deal of time at all. That was quite a minimalist cosplay, so I got up kind of usual lazy 9 o'clock start. But yeah, I think it really depends on the cosplay. Like if you take it seriously, I think a lot of people either do a lot of the prep, like early in the morning or the night before if they can. Like a friend of mine who did another body spray one, did it the night before, hair sprayed all over the paint so it wouldn't come off. Went to sleep, got up, and then did the last kind of touches in the morning. So I'm sure that it was probably a bit sticky and had to go to sleep with hairspray all over your skin, but it meant that he was ready to go the next day, and it looked fantastic.
Have you had any cosplay disasters while you've been doing cosplaying?
Disasters, I would say probably no. I mean, not in conventions. I've had a couple of like interesting moments, like spoiler alert, I did a Winry Rock Bell gender bent, and the jumpsuit that she wears, like the overalls, and I'd ordered the size too small. We did the shoot, got everything sorted, and it wasn't until I was looking back through that I was like, "Oh, that's a interesting bump in the groin area." Like, very, very tight. I don't need to describe it to you in any detail, but you can imagine.
I think you've done more than you could. You said that it's just like everyone just went, "Oh, okay."
There it is. Yeah.
There it is.
To be honest, I should have noticed at the time. I was like, "Oh, that is a bit tight around certain regions," but I kind of just thought, it'll be fine. I'll probably still post with a bit of editing, but like now everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that was the
photo in question."
that was that one. I just hope my Photoshop skills are good enough.
How do you decide like what you're cosplaying? Is it like spur of the moment, or do you plan it months in advance, sort of thing?
There's an ancient demon that I talk to who tells me what I should. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I just kind of it really depends. Like, I've got like a backlog, to be fair, of cosplay ideas that I'm like, oh, that would be cool, that'd be cool. And then when I'm coming to planning new conventions, I go through the list and kind of think, that's probably not practical, that's going to be tough to do short term. And then a lot of those ideas get bumped like down the list because I see a show and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Like when I did the Cardiff Anime Gaming Con, I was going to do Edward with my girlfriend. I was going to do Edward and Winry Rockbell, which is why I was testing that one for the shoot. And then I watched season 2 of One Punch Man, and I just fell in love with the character of Garu from One Punch Man, because I was like, this guy is a freaking badass. I want to cosplay as him. Like, he's giving me body dysmorphia issues here with his shoulders and his abs. I have to cosplay him, or I cannot sleep at night. So I that just basically jumped itself to the top of the queue. But like, it really depends. Like some stuff gets forced upon you. Like for MCM, I'm doing a princess squad, so I'm doing my first ever drag cosplay, because a cosplayer I knew, Cosplay Shino, shout out Cosplay Shino, she's awesome, threw this squad together, and like I was like, yeah, I'd love to get in a dress. It's gonna be great fun. So yeah, it's a real like a mix of like different factors, and there'll probably be cosplays that are on my list right now, right at the top, that we've probably even got like sidebarred on my channel, that just will never get done because there's so much stuff that comes forward.
Just like, I want to do that, and then a new anime will come out and just like, I want to cosplay him so badly.
Oh yeah, like I know I've got the next one on my list is Vegeta, which I've been meaning to do since before I started cosplaying, like properly. Yeah. But you know, My Hero Academia season 4 is coming out this week, so that's gonna I'm gonna watch.
Oh,
that.
sorry.
Nope. Oh, there we go.
Let me just reiterate, when this does come out, it'll probably already be happening. So.
Oh yeah, that dates when we recorded this.
Yeah. That's date
I'm ruining you. So if this comes out like in three months' time, it'll make you look like a really lazy editor. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. No, it'll probably yeah. All right. So yeah, it was obviously. Oh yeah, now where are we? Yeah, My Hero is just gonna sweep everywhere, and that comes out. I feel sorry for every other show that's just on. It'll just like, I've got no chance at all now. It's
gotten to that stage where it is that show. Like it was SAO for a while, and then it was Attack on Titan
before that. Oh no, was it?
Yeah, it was either before or after.
Yeah,
I think it might have been after. But there's always that one show that everyone watches, and I think this one's taken the cosplay community kind of by storm. Because the characters are also diverse, and I mean, it's almost like the fault of the writers, almost, that they've made so many like varied characters that people are just constantly wanting to cosplay as different stuff. Yeah. Like, so I first time I watched it and I saw All Might, I was like, this is like such a good character. It would be a crime not to cosplay this guy. But then I could go through that show and probably name about 24 characters that I would cosplay. Like it's a really good show for that reason.
I think if me now, I'd probably have to be Beckham, because I'm just like that's the one that sticks to me, and I'd be like, yeah, I can get that one. That one I can do off like pre sort of workout thing. I'd be like, yeah, I can do that. It's fine. So
there's lots. And do you know what really kind of catches me is that there are some cosplayers that have actually inspired me to want to cosplay rather than the show. Like there's a guy called, I think it's at Harfee. Like he's like quite up and coming at the moment, and he did a Bakugo. Yeah, and I was like blown away by how good it was, and I was like, right, well, that's got to be added to the list, because that's just insane that a man can do that kind of like quality of cosplay, and then you expect me not to want to do that? I'm sorry, what?
It's like, it's a challenge now. It's set your challenge. You're like, I want to beat that, or just at least get to that same level. That's funny. That's actually funny, because I was going to ask that same question, but just now, the next one on the list was going to actually be.
Is the best part of the cosplay community is that there are so many good cosplayers that the standard is just so high.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in a good way, sort of thing. I just
like good ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm big into my fitness. Like I've always been quite into my fitness, like in that way. And people like Harfee, who are, I believe he's a fitness model as well as a cosplayer. Like, I'm not entirely sure, but he definitely does a bit of both. And like his work kind of makes me inspired. Like, right, I want to look that good. I want to, like, both as a cosplayer and as someone who's into fitness. Like, and it keeps you almost like striving. So for that, I love the community for that reason, because there's so many people like that.
I mean, you've really asked. I was going to ask you, like, has there ever been other cosplayers that inspires you to cosplay? I mean, like, you've just named like 2 off the top of your head there, so that knock out that question in the same books, really.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm way ahead of you. I read you.
Yeah, you're way ahead. You've got your seat. Yeah, that's fine. Has there ever? You just before us. Has there ever been a cosplayer you want to try? Like, it's on your list to go, I've really got to try that one, or I'm going to kick myself if I don't.
The moment, like, as like a canon cosplay, I've only got really 1 or 2. Neither of them really, like, jump out at me massively. Like, I want to do Vegeta because I grew up with Dragon Ball Z.
Who didn't?
Yeah, who didn't?
Who didn't, really?
And then probably Escanor from 7 Deadly Sins, just because, again, watched season 2 and I was like, this is such a cool character.
I need to catch up on that one, actually.
It's good. Like, it's really good.
I've people saying like, yeah, it's really good. I was like, I know, but it's on my freaking to-do list. I'm just going through Darlings and Franks now, so I was like, I need to watch that too.
Oh no, that show like emotionally scarred me. Like that, I was inconsolable for like a week. It's the ending. It's the ending, dude. Honestly, it messes me up. To be fair, maybe that's just more of a reflection of like how I like channel my dating life into the actual show. And, like, I'm like projecting onto 02 way too much, but oh well. But no, like I think I find myself like more keen to do stuff that I've not seen. So like original like ideas. Like I had an idea for so Attack on Titan, but with characters who aren't from Attack on Titan. Because I just had this image of Zorro from One Piece.
Yeah.
In the ODM gear with like the 3rd ODM blade in his mouth. I just thought that would look so baller.
Okay.
That's those kind of ideas that really keep me like inspired.
Yeah. I think you could probably like. That's an interesting one actually. That's really good.
I want to try that soon. Like I said, the list is long.
Yeah, it's. Are you planning any new cosplays coming this year / next one?
So I've got 2 conventions coming up. Yep. One in a couple of weeks, a few weeks, which is MCM London. I'm going to redo the Titans because I love that cosplay. I'm doing an All Might / Belle from Beauty and the Beast cosplay, Belle, which I'm calling Belle Might. It's part of that Princess Squad. I'm going to be the Beauty and the Beast.
There we go.
Yeah, and then Sunday I'm going to finally get round to doing Edward Elric and Winry. So that'll be my Sunday one. Then I've got the Birmingham MCM, where I've got I'm trying to put together a Larkberg from Rising of the Shield Hero. Okay. I've got so much work to do on that. And then we're doing a Dragon Ball Z squad as well with a few other cosplayers on a Saturday, because Vegeta and Goku are just like my childhood.
It's Vegeta and Goku is just like any. I think if you're like a shonen sort of guy or a shonen person, it's just like Dragon Ball Z. Or if you say Dragon Ball Z, it's either Pokemon or Digimon, or it's one of those kind of.
Yeah, those were the ones.
Yeah, those were the big ones.
Kind of Naruto as well. Like I kind of grew up with Naruto, although that was probably a little bit later.
Alright, okay.
But I definitely like have that kind of in the background. But like beyond the convention stuff, which you kind of have to plan so people know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I kind of decide like off the cuff. Like I'm like during the week I'll message my girlfriend who I do a lot of my cosplay stuff with, and I'll say, yo, should we try this? And then she'll say, yeah, let's give that a go. Or she'll message me and say, oh, this is a cool idea.
You want to do like Kirito and Asuna or something just for the kicks of it.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like I'll like throw her an idea and she'll bounce it off the wall and throw something back at me, and we'll get to the weekend and be like, right, and then we'll put something together. And even if it doesn't come off or we're not happy with it, we've messed around with some ideas.
Yeah.
So like almost like every weekend. Yeah, exactly. And almost every weekend we're coming up with something different or doing something new. Although a lot of them don't normally stick, so we'll either not finish it or we'll postpone.
You said you got Comic Cons coming. You've got cosplay plans for next year. What Comic Cons are you actually attending next year, or do you
next
not?
Year,
or even this year, really? I mean, you've still got a lot more to go.
Yeah, I'm looking potentially Hyper Japan. I haven't really checked that one out. I've not been to that one before, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Next year, aside from like MCM again, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't thought that far ahead. Yeah, I haven't thought past the new year in terms of conventions yet. It's kind of like I think cosplayers live very like short-term like planning kind of thing.
I think if you like the way I look at it is I've started like not planning it, but just saying I want to go to this, and this, but not actually going like and then punching numbers and then just looking at like when it comes to the end of the year, just punching numbers and go, can I do it? Or that's the way because I've got like a list of as long as a freaking arm to go. Like I want to go to an MCM for once, and I want to go to London, and I want to go to Hyper Japan, and I want to do all this other stuff. And I was looking at it and going, that's going to cost you a freaking arm and leg to go to everything. So I was like, just knock down the list and what you can go and what you can't go to. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think
that's great.
It's one of those things that if you put a lot of money into it, you get a lot out of it, but then you have to have that in the first place. So you've got to be a bit sensible. I've definitely like thrown myself into it this year, so I think if nothing else, I'll probably be a little bit more sensible next year. But I'm just I kind of read the terrain with these sort of things and kind of go as and when I feel I can. But I think money is always going to be a problem for these sort of things for especially for the younger like cosplayers who don't necessarily have jobs and that. But I don't think that, and that's the beauty of cosplay, I don't think anything can stop a cosplayer who wants to do a cosplay, because even if all they have is the wig and some makeup and some time, they can put together a cosplay, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I did my first one that I tried, and I wasn't happy with it, but I did it anyway. Was Elf from Death Note. And that's super simple and super easy to do. It was just like a £5 wig from eBay. Excuse me. A white t-shirt and sky blue jeans. That's really it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's all there is to it. But you can sell that, and you can if you put the time in, and you're willing to kind of graft, you can do amazing stuff. And I've seen so many cosplayers who, aren't being paid to do it, who are pulling out some incredibly well presented cosplays. And again, it's inspiring because you've almost got the two ends of the spectrum. You've got the cosplayers who get paid, sponsorship and all that stuff to do it, and then you've got the other end of the spectrum, and both of them are inspiring for different reasons. So it's a really good community.
Oh, that's a good story there. Excuse me. Sorry. If a company asked you to cosplay a character, what would the company be, and what's the cosplay?
Oh gosh. Company I don't really know. I don't know.
A brand, like I say brand, let's say like a certain anime or a certain.
Oh, do you know what I would love, and this is probably never going to happen, but I'd love it if because Borderlands just came out, Borderlands 3. Yeah. I would absolutely love it if a game like that came along and can you cosplay as a new character? Something like that would blow my tiny little mind, because I'd probably spend about a day screaming like a fangirl in my room, oh, what do I do? But then I'd probably I'd love it so much. That's the kind of thing I think is probably the direction that I'd want to go in. But then that's if this ever becomes a paid thing, which for the majority of cosplayers it doesn't.
But it's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's a bit of
I'm gonna come to peace with that.
Comfort zone, isn't it? Yeah. I mean,
it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. It really is. Oh. I've already spoke that one. If anyone is listening and wants to start cosplaying, what advice would you give them?
Don't compare yourself to other cosplayers. There are cosplayers out there who've been doing this for years. At the beginning, I was looking at people around me oh, their cosplays are so much better than mine. Don't compare yourself. Just look at what you've done, and then compare yourself maybe a month down the line to what you were doing, and note your own improvements. Don't look at other people as a standard, because that's just their lives madness. You've got to keep perspective, because there's people out there who have more funds, who have more experience than you, and that shouldn't stop you from still expressing yourself and cosplaying in the way that you want to cosplay. I would say.
That's awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time. If people want to find your stuff, how can they find you?
At the moment, I'm just on Instagram at Ivarsorrows_cosplay. I'm looking to try and move into TikTok, but I haven't really mastered it. I think I'm a bit late, and a bit old to be on TikTok, but potentially on there. But I'll be Ivarsorrows on there as well. So yeah,
it's all under one roof.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to be interviewed. I know you'll be very busy doing whatever cosplay you've got next, and
thank you for having me.
Just generally, no, so thank you very much. Yeah, so I'll hopefully catch you in the somewhere abouts and enjoy. Have a good day.
Nice one. See you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. I just want to say thank you very much to Ivarsorrows Cosplay for taking the time to be interviewed. I think we could have carried on talking for a long time, but I kind of just we got a little bit trapped for time, so it's kind of cool. But definitely, yeah, if you guys want to check his stuff out, he's on Instagram. He does loads of stuff, so very good Attack on Titan stuff, I must say. So yeah, if you want to guys check his stuff out, it's as always links are in the description. And yeah, so after this, we're just going to get on with some of the news that's been happening over the last 2 weeks. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get on with the news. Okay, we're going to get through some movie news with you now. And the first thing on chopping block is Masters of the Universe reboot is being delayed. From my understanding, it was supposed to come out on 2021, but it's been delayed. I don't know when or how long. This new reboot, which I'm surprised the original came out in 1987, which is pretty cool, stars Noah Centineo? I think that's how you pronounce it. Centineo. I think it's Italian or something named, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, so he's going to be starring his He-Man, and it's going to come out in, hopefully... Well, it was supposed to come out in 2021, but it's been delayed, so... Hey, what are we going to do? Speaking of delays, nice segue. The King's Man, which was supposed to come out in March of next year, so March 2020, has actually been delayed until September of 2020. I'm really annoyed about this because I was actually looking forward to this one. This looks like it's like an origin story to the Kingsman. I mean, obviously they won't have the original cast because it's going to be based in World War I think, so kind of that area. So it's good origin story to how the Kingsman became the Kingsman, which I think is awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's a shame that it had to get a September release date, so a little bit weighted, but I'll definitely go and see it. Jay and Silent Bob reboot trailer, that dropped a few days ago, I think. I have not seen the original, or the Clerks film, I think it goes to go with it. But I'm in 2 points because it's kind of like, it seems like a very cash-in sort of thing. But I could be way wrong, it could be really good, so we'll see what happens. I will definitely go and check it out, try and check it out anyway. And as we are getting closer to winter, Frozen seems to be making a lot of waves, or ice waves, in the film industry, with it making a lot of money. We'll see how long that lasts because we've got Star Wars coming soon. But a review for that should be coming soon. One of the writers has seen it and she's asked if she could do a review for it. And I said yes because it's, yeah. So expect a review for that for Frozen 2 to come out very, very soon. Links, as always, will be in the description so you guys can check out when that goes live. Switching gears a little bit, and we're going to be talking about video games. Okay, so I don't know where to start with this one because there's so much stuff on video games. It's incredible. Hideo Kojima, of course, is going to make another game after Death Stranding, which is now out. It's going to make another horror film. Rumours standard, it's going to be something like PT, and if that's anything to go by, it's going to be good. I mean, it's Hideo Kojima on it, so come on. Him doing a horror film, yes please, you take my money now. I'm super excited for that. I don't care what it looks like, it's just going to be good. Google Stadia is in hot water, and hot water being the fun word of the day. And yeah, it released kind of, people got it early in some test things, and they complained that the Google stick that it comes with is heating up. So yeah, it's kind of like happened. And then my Google just went off at the same time while I was reading that. So, hello. But yeah, Google Stadia launched, and it's not doing very well. I hope it does better. I really hope this goes well, because we need something like that here. It'd be great. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. Speaking of stuff that kind of happens and should happen, Half-Life, now I'm going to pronounce this right, Half-Life Alicia? Basically, it's like Half-Life 2.5, I think, if you want to call it that, really. It's a VR game that Valve announced, so yeah, they're making a new game. Wow. So Valve announced it. They put out a tweet that says it's kind of coming. Everyone lost their stuff thinking it'd be Half-Life 3. And then they announced Half-Life Alicia, which is like a VR game. So they dropped the trailer for that, and I must say, it looks very good. I am intrigued to see how it works. I am definitely going to play it at a convention if there's a convention that will let me play it. I'm definitely interested to see how it works. Super interesting. So yeah, and also speaking of number 3s possibly, lovely segue. Resident Evil 3 is in the works to getting a remake like its predecessor number 2, which did amazing in the shops. According to Eurogamer, so pretty much a good certainty there, and I have heard it reported by other places. So yeah, it looks like we're getting a HD remake of Half-Life 3. Yay! So switching gears again now to anime news, and yeah. So, in anime news, we are going to go with the Promised Neverland Season 2 trailer has been teased. They haven't said anything per se yet. They've just released a picture. And if you have any idea, I absolutely adore Promised Neverland. I think it was one of the best animes from the last few seasons. Excuse me. From last year, because it was so good. Yes, I am putting in that the same with My Hero Academia, Fire Force, and Dr. Stone. Those are very, very good anime. So yeah, it's a really good time to be an anime fan, I think, at the moment. But if what I think is going to happen to what I think is going to happen, I don't know, but I have some ideas. So it looks amazing. It does look good. Anything they do touches its gold at the moment in my books. So yeah, skipping. I'm going to stop fanboying for a second about that. Neon Genesis Evangelion, the 4th film, I think it is. I've lost track of the films. 3.1 plus 1.0 is coming out in Japan in June 2020. No word yet on an American/European release date. I haven't seen anything in the States tells me otherwise. So yeah, June 2020, it is coming out in Japan. I say give it another 6 months and we'll get a version of it, hopefully. In con news, kind of weirdly this one, Stanley Supercon happened in Raja in Saudi Arabia, which is I stumbled upon this one, and it was really interesting to see that because, one, I didn't expect a comic convention to be in Raja, Saudi Arabia, and they kind of made it half about Comic-Con and half about Stan Lee, which is super nice. I really think that's like a tip of the cap sort of thing to how good he was. Yeah, so tip of the cap today, people over there. Well done. And I'm going to have to speaking of con news, I'm going to have to address the elephant in the room. SunnyCon, which is a convention in Newcastle and Liverpool, I think. They do 2 events a year. I don't know if they're doing one in Liverpool this year in 2020, but we'll find out. But they are doing one in Newcastle soon. they have said they're banning the Argo hoodie. If you don't know what it is, it's a hoodie with a depiction of an action that's not very... that can be perceived as being a bit hentai-ish, which I don't think it is personally, but people can have that perception. It has an underlying tone sort of thing. So yeah, they're banning that hoodie, which is a little weird. It's weird because like, everyone was complaining, everyone's shouting and screaming, saying, "Oh, they're banning it, they're banning it." I don't think they're banning it per se. I think they're more of the case of they're advising people not to wear it, which I understand because they are a business. They can set the rules of what you can do. I mean, obviously you can't walk around. They are a family convention. Let's put it this way: they are a family, all ages convention sort of thing. And I mean, I get it. I understand where they're coming from. It's just the way they've handled it was a bit. They could have done the execution with been better. Let's just say that then. I mean, like I said, I understand where they're coming from. Is that they are going to have you are going to have parents who don't know what it is look at that and go, "What?" Creeped out and understand but let's be realistic here. If a young anime fan is going with their mother, the anime fan knows what it's going to be, and they know that it's like, okay, it's that kind of jumper or jacket or hoodie. The young anime fan's going to get it. Well, the mother who's being dragged through it is going to go, "What's that supposed to do?" And then you can just say, "Oh, it's water. Oh, it's milk." Just, you know. So yeah, but I understand where they're coming from. There is this perception that can be a bit questionable if you don't explain it, and if there's an older anime fan who gets it and then has to explain it to their younger daughter who's not an anime fan, it can be a bit tricky. So I understand where they're coming from, but I also understand that they have a right to wear that if they want to. But I do have a question though for this. If somehow SunnyCon do listen to this by some weird chance, how will you enforce it? Let's say now you're not banning it. Let's say you're not banning, you're just advising you shouldn't go to it. If someone does, how will you enforce it? Will you say, "No, you can't come in"? Or will you say, "Look, we've had this rule in for 6 months, we've said it on social media, we've said it all over the place, it's caused a lot of controversy, can you not do that?" Are you just going to ask them to put it in a bag? I mean, or put it in a backpack, or give them a bag just to put it in, and then they can walk around the convention in their shirt or t-shirt or whatever? Or what if it's an Argo t-shirt? Are you going to ask them to change it and you give them a free t-shirt or something? I don't know. It's something that's going to have to be figured out on their side. But it's an interesting thought, is what if they, by some miracle, didn't hear about this and they just went, "Screw you, I'm just going to listen, I'm just going to wear it anyway," and then just wear it? Are you going to ban them from the convention, or are you going to just go, "Look, can you hide that somewhere else?" It's a weird thing. I've tried to list, like I said, with this I always voice my opinion, but I try and get both sides of the story. I will listen to the convention, to the official response, and I will listen to what they have to say. And I understand both that it can be a bit of a dodgy area that you're banning a piece of clothing because it's personal expression, while you've got people walking around in skimpies cosplaying costumes. But anyway, that's my 2 cents from it. I think I understand where they're coming from, because it's a case of they want to make it a family event, but I also understand that you can't ban stuff. It's just a matter of how they deal with it. So yeah. So I just want to say thank you very much if you've made it this far. This means a lot, because you've listened to it. You've listened to this whole me rambling as well. So yeah, if you guys want to support the show, we do have a Ko-fi page which you can go and donate, which always helps us out the show. You can go to Badfish Merch and buy some of their merch they have over there with some really good stuff. And then you guys can, just support the show. Tell people about it, really. So yeah. if you are going to Wales Comic Con next, I think it's next week, isn't it? Woohoo! Next week. Then December the 7th and 8th, if you're going down that way, I'll be down there as well. So if you see someone who is... I'll post a picture on my social media so you guys see what it looked like. If you guys want to pop over and say hello, or if you're a cosplayer and you want to be interviewed, that's going to be awesome too. So yeah, we could just hit up and have a chill about, and maybe you can be on the next episode. Ooh! So yeah, next episode will be on the 15th of December, and will be a Wales Comic Con Telford Takeover special, where we will have recordings from the actual event itself. So until then, I'll see you guys on the 15th, and if you are going down to Wales Comic Con, I will see you there. And so for the rest of you, I will say bye until the 15th of December. See ya.